What up, YouTube? Shabbat Shalom. Another happy Sabbath day. We're back. Back once again to share the word of God with you, brothers and sisters, on this eve of another Shabbat day. Uh, First of all, I want to give a shout out to the young lion filled in beautifully last week uh, on this doctrine thing, giving up, showing what the Bible has to say about false doctrine and the doctrines of men. And just want to, commend him for doing an excellent job. Now, over these next 4 weeks, we're gonna be doing a lot of big things. Discussing a lot of big things as far as prophecy and the word of God. Man, I'm telling you, if you don't miss these next 4 weeks. Don't miss these next 4 weeks because between me, myself, your boy T Boogie, and the young lion, we're gonna be giving out some serious information, serious knowledge of the word of the Most High. We're gonna be doing things on the Abomination of Desolation, or some people know him as the Antichrist, which we're gonna be studying tonight. We're gonna be doing, end time prophecy with the war of Armageddon. We're gonna be exposing the religion of Catholicism, and we got a lesson coming to you entitled "Jesus, the Unknown God." So we're gonna be doing a lot of things these next couple of weeks. Don't miss these next couple of weeks. And I'm gonna tell you right now, some of the lessons may be long because over the next 4 weeks, we don't want to leave nothing out. Like we always say, your eternal soul is on the line. Whether you're gonna end up in the lake of fire or whether you're gonna be in the kingdom. So don't want to miss these next couple of weeks. And like I said, we're gonna get it kicked off tonight. We're gonna be looking at this subject of the title of the lesson. It is the abomination of desolation, the Antichrist. So, and we're gonna be looking at, who this guy is, what kingdom or nation he's gonna come out of, and what's gonna be going on at the time of his reign, and what's gonna happen after the time of his reign. And we just gonna let the Bible speak for itself. We're gonna let the Bible speak for itself because the Bible does not need any interpretation. It interprets itself. And we're gonna show you who this cat is and what's gonna be going on when this cat steps on the scene. So we like we always say, if you don't get it from Israel, you're gonna get it wrong. Because everybody these Gentiles want to handle the word of God, and they got you looking for a 7-year tribulation. Well, we're gonna prove without a shadow of doubt that there is no such thing as a 7-year tribulation. They done went over into the prophet Daniel's books and messed that up on their 70 weeks of captivity. They done messed that up. They ain't got nothing to do with the tribulation though. But we gonna prove without a shadow of doubt how long the tribulation is gonna be, who's gonna be in power during this tribulation, and what's gonna happen immediately after the tribulation. We're gonna let the Bible speak on it. So with that, we're gonna get it kicked off. Let me get some of this light out of my face. We're gonna get it kicked off, and you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get to the bottom of this thing. Because a lot of people want to know who this guy is and what he's going to be doing when he steps on the scene. And another falsehood they get out there, that before the tribulation, Jesus is supposed to come up and rapture everybody off the earth before the tribulation starts. That's a lie. Again, with the word of God being handled by these Gentiles since 70 AD, and they got y'all going off to heaven and all kind of other false doctrine. But I digress. We don't want to get in there. We're gonna go ahead and get it kicked off, and we're gonna go directly to Matthew the 24. We're gonna go to Matthew chapter 24, and we're gonna first read verses 1 through 11. We're gonna speak on that, you know what I'm saying, and then we're gonna keep on rolling. So with that, we're gonna go to Matthew the 24, and we're gonna pick it up at verse 1. And I read. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and the disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye all these things? Verily I say unto you, there should not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. So here we have the disciples coming up to Jesus, and this is the second temple that was built, and they coming out, they showing Jesus, they're proud of the temple, and they coming out and they're showing Jesus, hey, look at the temple, look how beautiful it is. And Jesus told them, said, hey, there's gonna come a time when there should not be one stone left upon another on this temple. And that came to pass, like we told you in prior lessons, in 70 AD, when Titus came and sacked Jerusalem and tore it down to the ground, and he didn't leave it one stone upon another. Continue in verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us when these things shall be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and the end of the world. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. Now they asked Jesus three things. They want to know when was the temple was going to be thrown down. They wanted to know when was going to be the sign of his coming. And they wanted to know when would be the end of the world. Now, the end of the world as we know. And the first thing out the gate, Jesus told them is, don't let nobody trick you, deceive you, or get you to believe in something false. That's the first thing he gave after they answered them three questions. They said, when shall the temple be thrown down? When is the sign of your coming? Okay, and when is going to be the end of the world? And he said, take heed that no man deceive you. So we know what we're talking about in this chapter 24. We're talking about those three things. Verse 5, and I read, For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. So he told you right there in verse 5. Yeah, in verse 5, he said, look, they ain't gonna come to you saying that I ain't Christ. It's gonna be a lot of them, and we got millions of false prophets here today. They come and they Jesus, Christ you to death. But they ain't giving you the doctrine of this Bible. He said there's gonna be many gonna come in his name, many false prophets gonna come in his name, and they gonna say they not gonna deny that he is Christ. But they ain't gonna give you his doctrine. And we're gonna get into that a little bit later on. But you know, and we'll speak on what his doctrine is. All right. And they ain't gonna be doing nothing that this abomination of desolation ain't gonna be doing or isn't doing right now. You know what I'm saying? They ain't giving you the doctrine of Christ. Because the Bible says, as his custom was, he went into the synagogue and read on the Sabbath day. But you want to know if your pastor, your preacher, your belief is a false doctrine or a doctrine of men? Just ask yourself what day of the week you go to church. You go to church on a Sunday, the first day of the week, then that ain't the doctrine of Christ. Because I can read, and you've seen in parallel, we prove it, that the Sabbath day is still in effect. The Sabbath day was before the law. The Sabbath day is during the law. And the Sabbath day is going to be after the world ends, and we're going to read that today. You know what I'm saying? Because we prove all things. Verse 6, and I read, And you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that you not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. You know, everybody always, that's another thing we're going to dispel today. People always say, well, they know Jesus can come any day. No, Jesus can't come no any day. And we're going to read that he can't come any day because he said certain things got to take place before he can come. Because prophecy must be fulfilled. You know, he said, and I know everybody was saying, man, they said it's going to be wars and rumors of war. That can mean Jesus can come any day. That ain't book. And we're going to read it. And he said, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. And all these are the beginning of sorrows. He said, when you see these things, it's just the beginning of sorrow. The end, he said, the end is not yet. He said, he's just the beginning of sorrow. Okay? Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be, he said, after you see all this, he said, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. They ain't killing people for Jesus. I mean, they doing, don't get me wrong, they doing it in remote places in Africa and all that. But they're going to come a time where they're going to be an all-out assault on the people who say they Christians. So, you know, you always hear these jackleg preachers talking about saints, get ready. I'm telling you, and other brothers have told you, saints, you so-called saints better be ready, because this guy that's finna step on the scene here shortly is going to be coming with an all-out assault on those ones who claim to be Christians. So, saints, y'all better be ready. And he said, in verse 10, he said, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. What is Jesus talking about? He said that all this stuff going on, folks gonna be hating on each other, snitching on each other. They hiding over there. They talking about Jesus over there. He said, you're gonna have to do it to the end to be saved. You ain't saved now, like we proved a couple weeks ago on the eternal seeds, works and word. You ain't saved now. He said you got to endure to the end. He said that he that endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Until all this other stuff gotta happen. All this other stuff gotta happen. Then he said, then the end shall come. Okay? He said, only then shall the end come. Verse 15. Now listen here. This is what we finna key in on this cat. On this one that everybody thinks so holy and so proper and so pious. Jesus finna zero in on this chunk. Verse 15, and I read, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in a holy place, whosoever readeth, let him understand. Now, he said, now Jesus Christ gave you a direct order, a direct reference back to the Old Testament. So for you New Testament saints, and you talking about you Holy Ghost filled and all that, the Messiah, the creator of all that you see, feel, hear, and touch, just gave you a reference, a direct command to go read about the abomination of desolation that was spoken of by Daniel the prophet. And you're going to tell me you're a New Testament Christian. You're going to tell me that the Old Testament ain't no good. Right here in the New Testament, the Messiah, Jesus Christ, the one you say you follow, just referred you back to Daniel the prophet. Continue. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountain. He said, when you see this cat stand in the holy place, if you in Judea, get out. Flee into the mountains. So for and that's another thing I got a little something for my Hebrew brothers and sisters that went back over to the land before it's time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all over there in the land, and he said, if you in Judea during the time of this abomination of desolation, you need to get out. So why y'all over there now, I don't understand. But that's another lesson. Listen, verse 17. Listen what the Messiah said. He said, let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. So he said, when you see this guy standing in the holy place, it's time to be somewhere else. It's urgent that you move when you see this guy stand in the holy place. He said, if you out in the field, don't even go back to your house to get no clothes. He said, it's time you get gone. Because this cat, he coming. And he coming for those who keep saying, oh, I love the Lord. Well, you're going to be sorely tested if you can't get to the place of wilderness. But that's another lesson. We're going to be talking about the place of safety, the wilderness, during the tribulation. But that's another lesson. And if you get caught up here and waiting on this 7-year tribulation, and you're going to get caught up over in the mid, you're going to be in trouble. And your faith and your religion going to be sorely tested. Because they're going to be chopping off heads and burning folks at the stake and killing babies and all kind of stuff. So, continue. And listen what he said in verse 19 to the women. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight not be in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. Why is Jesus Christ still talking about the Sabbath day in the end time? He's still talking about the Sabbath day even in the end time. He said, pray that your flight, when this cat standing in the holy place, pray that you ain't trying to run during the winter or if you pregnant or on the Sabbath day. Because everything supposed to be shut down on the Sabbath day. So if you try to run on the Sabbath day, he's shutting it down. You ain't going to be able to run. Verse 21. Listen what he say. For then, even during the great tribulation, now he said, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. This is going to be a time of trouble and travail and killing and death that ain't never been since the world was created or never shall be. And it's only going to be one. And that time ain't happened yet, but it's coming. And you better get right and stay right, and you better know what you're supposed to be doing. Verse 22. And except those days be short, there shall no flesh be saved alive. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be short. Then if any man say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there believing not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Now, in this time, this cat, this abomination of desolation, we're gonna read that he understands dark sentences. He gonna be able to make a literal statue walk and talk. He gonna cause fire to come down from heaven. And he said, if they tell you Christ is over here or Christ is over there, he said, believe it not. He said, because there's gonna be many false Christs and many false prophets gonna arise in doing this cat's time. And they gonna be, and they said they shall deceive many. They gonna be over there, gonna say, man, Christ over there in the temple now, Christ in Jerusalem now. He said, believe it not. He said that if it were possible, they would be able to fool the very elect, but they can't fool the very elect because the very elect got some wisdom, got some knowledge. They gonna know what this manuscript say about this cat, and what the manuscript say about Jesus Christ and his second coming, Yeshua HaMashiach. We know because we got some knowledge, we got some understanding. Verse 25. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they say, he giving you this warning again, so it must be important. He warned you a second time. He said, wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forward. Or they say, behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. Now, he going to give you the sign of his coming. He said, for as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For wherever so the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered. Now listen what he said in verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall the sign of the Son of Man in heaven appear in him. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the earth to another. That's a whole lot right there. Well, first of all, he said, everybody gonna see him at his coming. He said, just like the sun come out of the shadow in the east and go into the west. He said, so shall the sign of the Son of Man come. He said he gonna come in the cloud with great power and great glory and with his angels. You see what I'm saying? So, he said, you see this joker saying that he Christ over in the desert, or he over in the secret chambers, or in the temple. He said, that ain't me. So he answered all the disciples' questions about when was the temple going to be thrown down, what's going to be the sign of his coming, and when is going to be the end of the world. He answered all their questions in that verse, in that chapter 24. He goes on in that chapter to continue on and tell them some things about being faithful to what God has entrusted you, so you can be ready when he comes. But that's what I'm saying. So, this hogwash about the Lord can come any day, any day now, that's a lie. He said, when after all these things, then shall the sign of the Son of Man appear in heaven. So we just busted up falsehood, but let's zero back in on this cat. This abomination of desolation. Let's zero back in on him because, that's what this lesson is about. This man of sin, this so-called Antichrist. So we're going to zero back in on him. We're going to go to 2 Thessalonians. Excuse me. And We're going to pick it up, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. We're going to go to 2 Thessalonians 2. And we're going to pick it up. We're going to pick it up at verse 3. And we're going to read verses 3 through 10. And then we're going to break it down. All right. So 2 Thessalonians 2. Chapter 2. And we're going to begin at verse 3. And I read. Let no man deceive you. See, there you go again with that warning about. So evidently it's important, or it's going to be a lot of deception going on. Because not only did the master warn you about deception, here we have Paul warning the people about deception in the last day. Okay? And he said if it were possible, they would even fool the very elect, deceive the very elect. But you got to have some information. You got to have some knowledge and some understanding of these scripts. Because you don't, you're going to mess around and get caught up. Verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. What does he mean? There's going to be a falling away from the truth. And they doing it now. They doing it now. It's a falling away from the truth now. The Bible tell you that you're going to be raised up in the last day. They tell you now as soon as you die, that Big Mama and everybody either in heaven or in hell. That ain't book. That's falling away from the truth. They tell you, that Jesus Christ was born on December 25th. You can't read that in this book. Falling away from the truth. See what I'm saying? They would have you to believe that Satan down there barbecuing people in hell right now. That's a lie. Ain't in the book. Matter of fact, he ain't got no dominion other than what's on this earth, because the Bible said the lake of fire was created for him. So all this falling away from the truth. They tell you the Christian Sabbath day is Sunday, the first day of the week. But over and over again in the Bible, you read that the seventh day, God sanctified it and hallowed it and commanded you to have a holy convocation or a holy gathering on the seventh day of the week. A falling away from the truth. He said that man of sin, that son of perdition, of doom, is going to be revealed in these days. And we're going to reveal him tonight. We're going to put our head on this joker tonight. Verse 4. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God. This is a bold dude. Or that is worship. So that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Now, Jesus Christ told you about this guy. He said, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation standing in the temple, standing in the holy place. Paul saying this girl going to sit in the temple of God to claim to be God and exalt himself above all that is called God. This the same guy. This is the same guy that Jesus was talking about. This same guy. Same thing. He going to sit in the temple of God or the holy place. And see, most of you don't even know what a holy place is, where or nothing. So you don't know what to look for. So he going to stand in the temple of God, claiming to be God and exalt himself above all that is called God. Okay? Verse 5. Remember ye not, when I was yet with you, I told you these things. Make sure I didn't go past my thing. No, we going on. And remember ye not, when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know that withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. He going to be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. Who letting it go on? Jesus letting it go on. He said these things got to come to pass. He said only he who now let it will let him let. So Jesus Christ has allowed all this to go on. And he said the man of sin going to be revealed until he be taken out of the way. And Jesus Christ going to take him smooth out the way. He going to get him out the way. Because he going to come down and clean this world up. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. See, he gonna like I say, he gonna be deceiving a lot of people. This cat gonna be deceiving a lot of people. He gonna come with all sides and lying wonders. You know, the Bible says he understands dark sentences. We gonna read that. So moving on. So we talking about this man of sin, this son of perdition, this abomination of desolation. Who is this cat? So we're gonna do what Yeshua told us to do. Jesus told us to go. He referred us directly back to Daniel the prophet. He said, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet. So we're going back. We're going to do what the Messiah told us to do. We're going to go back and track this joke down in the book of Daniel. So let's go to Daniel the 7th. Let's go to Daniel the 7th. Daniel chapter 7. We're going to Daniel chapter 7. We're going to pick it up at verses 1 through 8. And then we're going to skip down. And what we're going to be doing here, we're just going to be tracking it because, I done seen a lot of people saying, this guy's Antichrist. This guy's Antichrist. They even had something on the internet one time. Obama was Antichrist. Well, this guy's going to come out of a specific nation, specific kingdom. So what we're going to do, we're going to run down these, and he said, until the time of the Gentile be fulfilled. So we're going to run this joker down. So we're going to go into Daniel the 7th. And we're going to start picking it up at verse 1. And we're just going to read some things. And we're going to try to get down to the bottom of who this cat is. What nation this cat's going to come out of. All right. In verse 1. Daniel the 7th verse 1. And I read. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream of visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my visions by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven strode upon the great sea. Now, the four winds are the four Gentile nations. We can't teach you all this. We can't teach you everything in one lesson. There is a lesson that we're going to do about the four winds of heaven, the four Gentile nations. Well, we can't teach you everything, but those four winds of heaven are the four Gentile nations. And those Gentile nations are still in power now. And if you don't believe me, look, see who's running it. Gentiles are who we call European or white folk. They own and run everything in this world. If you don't believe me, just look around and see. All right? So, but we can't teach you everything in one lesson. And the great sea is the people. Okay? Just so you'll know who we're talking about. But we're going to break it down here in a minute. And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. And I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked. And it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand upon the feet as a man. And a man's heart was given to it. Now this is the Babylonian Empire. King Nebuchadnezzar, which was Belshazzar's father. This first beast was the Babylonian Empire. Okay? And like I said, we can't teach it all in one lesson. But we know if you can go down through history, you can go back through history, and you can track down, just like the Bible say, these four Gentile nations came in power, just as the Bible said. In verse 5, and behold, another beast, a second, like unto a bear, and it raised itself up on one side, and it had three ribs in the mouth of it between the teeth of it, and said, thus unto it, arise. And they said, thus unto it, arise and devour much flesh. Now this was the second empire, the Medes and the Persians. And who are the Medes? The Medes are modern day Russia. And what you know, this is Russia because their symbol still right now to this day is the bear. You ever heard of the Russian bear? That's their symbol right there. All right. Verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another, like unto a leopard, which had upon the back of it four wings of a fowl, The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given unto it. Given unto it. After this, now this nation or kingdom was the Greek Empire, and you know the I'm talking about Alexander the Great. This third nation, this third Gentile nation, was the Greek Empire. And we'll break it down. Like I said, we can't tell you everything, but the 4 wings and the 4 heads mean something. After Alexander the Great, conquered the whole world, he died young, and his 4 generals took over, and the dust of those 4 heads came up because after he died, the Greek Empire split, and he had 4 of his generals took over 4 different sections of the kingdom, and they became 4 kings, and they divided the Greek Empire as such. Okay. Now, at verse 7. After this I saw in the night visions and beheld a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth, and it devoured and breaking to pieces and stamped the residue of the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Keep in mind those 10 horns as we go on through this lesson. This 4th nation, this 4th Gentile dynasty, which is the same one we on the rule right now, was the Roman Empire, which came up out of the Greek Empire. Out of the west part of the Greek Empire came the Roman Empire, which took over the world. Okay, that 4 beasts, they didn't even have a beast to liken it to. It was so terrible, so mean, because we're gonna see this beast not only destroyed you or captured you or conquered you physically, but it destroyed you spiritually as well. And this was the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, which this Roman Catholic Church and all this other garbage that we under right now. This is the dynasty or the kingdom that he came out of. All right. Now we just read. Let's see. Make sure I'm still on point. We're gonna read one more verse. Then we're gonna skip down. Verse 8. And I read. And I considered the horns and beheld, there came up among them a little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Now this little horn is the religious ruler of the Roman Empire, or the so-called Holy Roman Empire. This little horn, this is the Abomination of Desolation, and we're going to continue to run this cat down and put our hand on this cat. But out of this 4th kingdom, this 4th dynasty, the Roman Empire, came up this little horn. And now he said it was 10 horns. And this is end time prophecy because it's 10 nations in the European economic government. He said, but out of these 10, I considered the horn, there were 10 up out of those horns came another little horn. So you got the 10 kings or the 10 horns or the 10 rulers, the 10 nations, which are the European economic government. We're going to prove it to you. But out of those 10 horns came up another little horn. Okay. And he said he plucked up 3 of the horns up by the root. And again, we can't go through all this, but you know, there were 3 horns or 3 kingdoms that were plucked up by the root. Osgard, Vandale, and Hurlai. We can't go into that right now because that's a whole different lesson. But we're going to get into that later on in another lesson. Now we're going to skip down to verse 15. Now Daniel's about to give the explanation of his dream. But this vision, this dream troubled Daniel real bad. And Daniel said he wanted to know the interpretation thereof. And he about to give you an interpretation of the dream. I, Daniel, verse 15, I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. And I came near to one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made me to know the interpretation of the things. These great beasts, which are 4 kings or kingdoms, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the 4th beast. Gang said, I got to know about this fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron and nails of brass, which devoured and brake into pieces and stamped the residue with his feet. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of the horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake great things. And we're going to find out what these great things are, because the Bible in the other chapter is going to say he spoke great things the Most High. You know, we read over in Thessalonians that he going to exalt himself as God and above all that is called God. So he said he spoke great things. Okay? He said, and whose look was more stout than his fellow. And I beheld the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Wait a minute now. Now, we done went from a kingdom, meaning military and social and government. This guy is going after some religious folk. He said he made war with the saints. Okay? He said he made war with the saints. What is a ruler of a kingdom going after the saints folk? Why is that? Why did the word say that he was going, a king, one of the horns, went after the saints? It says, let's read that again. And verse 21, I beheld the same horn, talking about that little horn, made war with the saints and prevailed against them. He not only going to make war with the saints, for a time he going to prevail against the saints. So like I said, all you jack-leg preachers, all you so-called sanctified, filled Holy Ghost folk, I always hear my saints get ready. Saints, y'all better be ready, because this cat coming, and he ain't joking. If you don't believe it, go back and do some research and history on the Great Inquisition. That was all done in the name of the Lord. He said he made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Verse 22. Now, until the Ancient of Days came. This is the same thing. See, it's always in order. You got the great trip. You got this guy step on the scene. This abomination of desolation. Then he gonna make war with the saints. He said, then Jesus said they're gonna deliver you up to be afflicted. He said he gonna make war with the saints. And now the Bible saying until the Ancient of Days came, Jesus told you the same thing. He said, until the Son of Man come. He said, then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man appearing in heaven, coming with great power and glory in the cloud. So it's always in order. Always in order. So you people that's waiting for this rapture to be raptured off before the tribulation, you people that's talking this 7-year tribulation garbage, you're going to get caught up. And I'm telling you, if you don't know what a place of safety is, because ain't but one, you're going to get caught up, and your confessions, your faith is going to be sorely tested. Because we just read in Daniel, the 21, he said he made war with the saints and prevailed against them. But verse 22 said, until the Ancient of Days come. Who is the Ancient of Days? That's Jesus. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given unto the saints of the Most High, and the time that was, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. So we still talking about being on this earth, because we talking about the 4 Gentile dynasties on this earth. We talking about the Ancient of Days coming to this earth, because he said in Matthew, you're going to see the sign of the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with great power and glory, with his army coming to this earth. And then you just read here in Daniel, until the Ancient of Days came, and then he gave the kingdom to the saints. It's always been about the earth. And we've showed you in past lessons that he said this earth was meant to be inhabited, and he said he desired to dwell with his creation. So I don't know where this rapture thing came from, but again, I know where it came from. It came from the Gentiles. The same person that gave you going to heaven, gave you the rapture. The same person that gave you Sunday, same person that gave you Christmas, Easter. All that garbage came from this abomination of desolation. Came from this Roman Catholic religion. Is where it came from. And they ain't even religion with that, because most of that they got from the Hamites. Moving on. We gonna pursue these 10 heads, these 10 horns. These 10 horns are the European economic government. And just to prove it, you can do some research online. You can go and look at the treaty that this European Union is signed. And guess what the name of the treaty is? It's called the Treaty of Rome. Now, why is Britain, Spain, France, all these European governments signing a treaty called the Treaty of Rome? Because the Bible says Rome will rise and fall 10 times. And he said the deadly wound going to be healed. So this European economic government is a revived Roman Empire. Okay? So he's going to be a religious ruler. And he is a ruler because every time somebody goes over to little Vatican City, they got to bow down, they got to kiss the ring. You know, so he is a ruler. But we're going to continue to pursue him for some more. We're going to continue to pursue this cat. We ain't gonna let him off the hook that easy. Flip over a couple of pages. We're going to go to Daniel. We're going to go to Daniel the 8. And we're going to pick it up. We're going to pick it up at verses 1. We're going to read verses 1 through 7. In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me Daniel, after that which appeared to me at the first. And I saw a vision, and it came to pass, when I saw that I was in Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam. And I saw a vision, and I was by the river Ulai. And I lifted up my eyes, and I saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram, which had 2 horns. And the 2 horns were very high. I mean, the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other. And the higher came up last. So, this again, going over these Gentile dynasties, this is talking about the Medes and the Persians. You notice it didn't mention the Babylonian Empire because the Babylonian Empire was not taken by force. It was given to the Medes and the Persians. And that's why you got a ram with 2 horns, because it was a dual government. It was the Medians and the Persians that took over after the Babylonian Empire fell through assassination. Because if you go back and read in Daniel, Belshazzar started drinking out of the holy vessel that was taken from Jerusalem. And that's when that hand came across the wall. And that's where we get that saying, the handwritings on the wall. A hand came off the wall and said, you know, that he has been weighed in the balance and has been found wanting. And so that very night, Belshazzar was assassinated, and the kingdom, the world kingdom, went directly, inherited. Darius the Mede inherited the world kingdom from the Babylonian Empire. So this ram is talking about the Medes and the Persians. Again, can't teach you all in one lesson, but we just try to give you some quick snippets to prove what kingdom this abomination of desolation coming out of. All right, verse 4. And I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him, neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand, but he did according to his will and became great. And as I was considering, behold, a he goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came and ran, and he came to the ram that had the 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him. And he smote the ram, and break his 2 horns, and there was no power in the ram to stand before him, but he cast him down to the ground and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. This is when Alexander the Great came and took over the world kingdom from the Medes and the Persians. And you can see he said he came swiftly unto the ram. And said he moved like his feet weren't even touching the ground. So he came upon them quickly. And he took over the world quickly. That notable horn in the middle of his head, that's Alexander the Great. So we're going to keep moving. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but I just want to give you guys what's going on here. Uh, Therefore the he goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken. And for it came up four notable ones toward the four winds of heaven, and out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the pleasant land. What's the pleasant land? Jerusalem. Okay. Now we're gonna skip down. We're gonna skip down. That was a transference from the Greek to the Roman. Now we're going to skip down to verse 20, and we're going to pick it up at 20 through 23. And I read, the ram which thou, now this is Daniel giving you an interpretation. The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia. I told you the Bible don't need no interpretation, it interprets itself. And the rough goat is a king of Grecia. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Go do your history research. The first king of Greece was Alexander the Great. Okay. Now, that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, four kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And like we said before, when Alexander the Great died, his four generals took over the kingdom, and the kingdom split into four different under four different rulerships. His four generals became four kings. Okay? Excuse me. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are coming, let me make sure I'm still on point. Make sure, yeah. And in the latter times of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. All right. This king that rises up out of these four kingdoms, which came out of the west, was Rome, was Italy. Italy was part of the Greek dynasty. Italy rose up. Rome became its own world ruling power. And this cat came out of them. They said he understood dark sentences. So he know the truth, but he ain't going to tell you the truth. We're going to give you a lie. Okay? So we're going to keep on pursuing this cat. We're going to keep on pursuing this cat. We're going to put our finger on it, like I said tonight. Y'all going to know who it is, this so-called Antichrist, this abomination of desolation, the man has seen. All right? We're going to go to Daniel chapter 11. We're going to go Daniel to 11. We're going to go Daniel to 11. And we're going to pick it up. We're going to pick it up at verse 30. And we're going to skip around here for a minute. We're going to pick it up at verse 30. Daniel to 11. And we're going to pick it up at verse 30. And I read. For the ships of Cheatham shall come against him. Therefore he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the holy covenant. So shall he do. He shall ever return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant. He's gonna have what? It says shall have indignation against the holy covenant. So shall he do. He shall ever return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant. He gonna know some things. He gonna understand some things. And he gonna team up with those who forsake the holy covenant. What is the holy covenant? That book that you tote in your hand every Sunday morning. He gonna make league. He gonna get in league with these cats, man. He gonna get in league with the folks that forsake the holy covenant. You want and look, the covenant, the main part of the covenant was a Big Ten, and the main thing that you got folk not doing, you read the fourth commandment in that covenant. It said, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. But this cat came along and told you that the new Christian Sabbath day was on Sunday. You see what I'm saying? The Bible tell you, the word of God tell you that man should not lay with man as with mankind and with womankind. But he got you sanctifying and solidifying same-sex marriage. These jokers spend $50 million a year selling out of court for raping little boys. He gonna get in the league and have intelligence with those that forsake the holy covenant. The same cat. All right. We're going to skip down to verse 37. We're going to skip down to verse 37. And I'm going to read. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's read verse 36. And the king shall do according to his will. And he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every God. Same thing they said in Thessalonians. And shall speak marvelous things against the God of God. He said he gonna, the Bible said he gonna be speaking very great things. The Bible even said he gonna think to change times and law. He said he gonna be speaking against the God of God. That's how bold this cat gonna be when he step on the scene. But they doing it now. They tell you going against the word of God. They say it's okay for a man to marry a man, a woman to marry a woman. They tell you, you know what I'm saying? They tell you that you can eat anything you want to pray over. They tell you going up, God gonna take you off to heaven. And you can't find that one time in the Bible. I dare anybody to try to find that one time. They say he gonna speak against the God of God. He doing it now. Everything God say, he say, well, it's okay. It's okay that you gay. You can direct the choir. You can be a preacher. It's okay. God love everybody. No, he don't. And we done read that to you. And if God loved everybody going to accept you the way you are, why is it he got a lake of fire? Why is it? If he going to treat and accept you like you are, and you ain't going to worship him like he tell you to worship him, why does he have a lake of fire that he going to put people in forever? But come as you are. Don't worry about it. God love everybody. That's bull crap. Continue. And it said he shall speak marvelous things against the God of God, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done. It's already set in stone. This got to happen. He said until the indignation be fit. And it's for a set time. And we're going to read that. Neither shall, verse 37, neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. This cat don't want no women. So let you know. It's giving you more insight to who this guy is. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna have the desire of women. Sound familiar? They ain't gonna have the desire of women. This guy, and we're gonna show you here in a minute, by the end of the this guy even called himself the substitute for God's son. For real, that's what he called his office. But we gonna keep on going. So he gonna stand in a holy place. He gonna exalt himself above God and all that is called God. He gonna speak things against God. He gonna think to change time and law. He ain't gonna want no woman. He gonna make war with the saints. So all this is going on with this cat. And it's going on now. Just not he ain't out now with it. But he gonna come out with it. It ain't gonna be nothing you gonna do. And if you don't take that mark, which they set you up for it every ass win, if you don't take that mark, you gonna be in trouble, partner. You know what I'm saying? Think about it like this right here. You at home, you go to the store. You ain't got that mark, you can't feed your family. They come looking for you because you ain't got the mark. They got a gun to your baby girl's head, and they say, do you love Jesus or you gonna bow to this beast? You got a choice to make, partner. You got a serious choice to make. You gonna let them shoot your baby girl in the head, or you gonna take that mark? See, your faith gonna be sorely tested when this cat get it. When he get down to the holy place, when he get in office, when he take over this world, you got some choices. You gonna have some hard decisions to make. You gonna see you and your partner gonna be standing, ain't got no mark. They gonna tell you take that mark. Y'all say no. They gonna chop your partner head off. Now you gonna take the mark? what you gonna do? See, it's easy to say what you gonna do, what you ain't gonna do now. Because ain't nothing going on right now to that point. But it's gonna come a point in time, ain't gonna get that way. Saints, as y'all say, y'all better get ready. Y'all better get ready. Moving on. Let's skip down to verse 45. Let's skip down to verse 45. And I read, and he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mountain, yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help it. Where is the glorious holy mountain? The glorious holy mountain is in Jerusalem. So this cat, that's what Jesus said, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, staying in a holy place. He giving you clue after clue, signal after signal, who this cat is, where he gonna be, and what's gonna happen when he get down there. He said he gonna set his palaces between the sea and in the great, in the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end. Then he said he gonna destroy him with the brightness of his coming. Ain't that what we read? The Bible is consistent. We read all these verses. The same thing happened. But they gonna tell you gonna tell me you a New Testament Christian when Jesus told you to go back and read about this cat in Daniel the prophet. But the Old Testament, them laws been done away with. Jesus came, he said, I came not to destroy the law, but to fulfill the law of the prophet. Even Paul told you, I believe all things that are written in the law of the prophet. Where you think Paul them got this stuff from? They got it from the prophets. They got it from the Old Testament. You gonna let somebody tell you, all you gotta do is believe. Okay, we gonna see when this cat step on the scene how much you believe. When they got your testicles in their hand, gonna tell you they gonna chop them off. If you don't take this maul, we gonna see what you gonna do then. Cause he coming. Skipping over. We're gonna go to Daniel the 12. We're gonna read a few verses in Daniel the 12. We're gonna pick it up in Daniel the 12, Daniel chapter 12. And we're gonna read about the coming of the Lord. You know, we've been reading little bits and pieces here. We're gonna read about the coming of the Lord in the tribulation, after the tribulation. And you know, we just got to reading in Daniel 11 that he gonna come to his end and none shall help him. Cause you know why ain't none gonna help? Who can stand against God? Nobody. So when Jesus step on the scene, and he gonna take care of this chunk. And don't be standing on the sideline cheering. I can't wait. Get rid of this punk. Because this joker here, the office that he holds, you know what I'm saying? These are the ones that have deceived the people. These are the ones that gave you all this false doctrine and got you on a straight line to the lake of fire. I can't wait. I'm going to be standing on the sideline cheering, and anybody who don't like it, I'm going to be standing there with my sword in my hand. And we're going to read that too. Because I ain't going to tell you nothing I can't read. We're going to read that too. Daniel the 12. Verse, we're going to read 2 verses, then we're going to skip down. See what I'm saying? We're going to skip down. So Daniel the 12, we're going to pick it up in verse 1. We're going to read 2 verses here. And I'll read. And at that time, what time? When the Messiah show up. We just got to read at the end of 11 that he going to be destroyed. Ain't nobody going to help. So what time? The time when the Messiah show up after the tribulation. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. What book? The book of life. And if your name ain't in that book of life, you got problems, partner. We gonna read that. You got serious problems. Your name ain't in that book. You better get it right, get it tight. Verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to everlasting shame and contempt. All right, we're going to skip down. You heard what the book say. I ain't got to elaborate on that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you ain't in that, if you ain't going to be raised in everlasting light, you got a problem. Your drawers gonna be on fire for a long time. The worms gonna be eating on your body, you ain't gonna be able to die. And that fire gonna be lighting your butt up, and you ain't gonna be able to die. Skip down to verse 5. And I read, then I Daniel looked, and behold, there stood other two, the one on this side of the bank of the river, and the other on that side of the bank of the river. And one of the men, and I said to one of the men clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? Listen what he say now. We're finna get into this thing. And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, and he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth and forever, and it shall be for a time and times and a half, and when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. Wait a minute, he said, how long to the end of these one? He said it's gonna be for a time and times and a half a time. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now how long it is, but we're gonna read it, and the Bible gonna verify what I'm gonna tell you. It's gonna be for 3.5 years. Times is 1 year. Time is 1 year. Times is 2.5 is 3.5 years. That's how long the tribulation and the time that he gonna be chasing down these holy people gonna last. All right, but we know we prove all things around here. They gonna already know what people say. That's your interpretation. Yeah, you say you don't interpret. Well, we're gonna let the Bible prove it out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep on reading. We're gonna keep on reading, and we're gonna let the Bible prove itself out. Let's go to Revelation 17. Let's go to Revelation 17. We just gonna keep on reading. We're gonna let the Bible prove itself out. Let's go to Revelation chapter 17. And we're gonna pick it up. We're gonna pick it up at verse 1. Revelation 17 and verse 1, and I read. And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. This great whore that sitteth upon the many waters. That's this mystery Babylonian religion. That's this Roman Catholic religion that's over all the peoples. And if you don't think he sit upon many waters, you wrong. Everywhere you go, this so-called Roman Catholic Christianity, these Protestants, these Methodists, these Baptists, you know what I'm saying, these Presbyterians, all of them do what Papa say. You don't believe me? Who gave you Christmas? They did. You dragging Christmas trees in your house, ain't you? They call him the Holy Father. He's Papa. And you don't think everybody ain't follow him? Just look at his doctrine. He don't follow the doctrine of the Bible, so it had to come from somebody. Verse 2, and I read, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. So the kings of the earth can commit fornication with this whore that sits upon many waters. And every time you see one of them go, every time somebody get close to the Vatican City, they got to go there and kiss the ring. I don't care if it's a king, a queen of England, president of the United States, whoever. Every time they go to the Vatican City, they got to go there. They got to go talk to him. They got to kiss the ring. They committed fornication, spiritual fornication with this cat, with this whore. And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. In the book telling you, the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day, everything you got came out of Rome. And you done been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Bad doctrine. That's what he's talking about. Bad doctrine. Going to heaven. Bad doctrine. Good Friday. Bad doctrine. Easter sunrise service. Bad doctrine. Purgatory. Bad doctrine. been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, and having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Wait a minute, let's narrow this thing down. Let's get to the crux of this situation. He says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. I saw a woman sitting upon a scarlet colored beast. Scarlet, keep that in mind. Full of names of blasphemy, and having 7 heads and 10 horns. So let's run this thing down. And he said he had 7 heads and 10 horns. Now we read over in Daniel about the 10 horns, did we not? Talking about the 10 kings. Now, and we just told you European economic. You can go online, do your research. That treaty that the European Economic Union signed was called the Treaty of Rome. Now, there's only 2 cities, okay, in this whole entire earth that the cities sit upon 7 hills. One of them is Istanbul, Turkey, and we know Istanbul, Turkey ain't got time, ain't never been a world power, and can barely run itself. But Rome sits on 7 hills. The Treaty of Rome, 10 nations, 10 kings, 10 horns. Okay? Now, we're going back to verse 4 and say, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color. Talking about this whore. This whore was arrayed in scarlet and purple color. In the Roman Catholic religion, the bishops were purple. The cardinals were scarlet red robe. 7 heads. The 7 heads are 7 mountains. We're going to let the Bible read itself out. I'm just giving you heads up so you already know when we get there. You say, man, he wasn't lying. You see what I'm saying? But keep in mind, the bishops wear purple. The cardinals wear scarlet red. And then where this whore sits is upon 7 heads. 7 hills or 7 heads called 7 mountains. Okay? All right, we're going to skip down. Now we're going to keep on reading verse 5. And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, the abominations of the earth. Okay? It said, and I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. He wondering about this thing because you keep on telling he wearing these saints out. So, you know, he own these saints. So saints, get ready. He own these saints now. So if you gonna holler about you, I love the Lord, you better be ready. Cause he coming at you. He gonna be cutting off heads and necks and balls and everything. He gonna be setting folks on fire. So y'all saints, y'all better get ready. Verse 7. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and the beast that carried her, which had 7 heads and 10 horns. And the beast that thou saw was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go in perdition. And we read about the son of perdition. And they that dwell upon the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they beheld the beast that was and is not and yet is. You see what I'm saying? You wondering after this beast. You following after her doctrine. You doing. He said your names is not written in the book of life. You keeping Sunday as a Sabbath day. You keeping Christmas. You keeping all this bad darkness, and the one that was wondering after this whore, names was not found in the book of life. And it said he sat upon 7 hills. Okay. Now let's go down to verse 9. Okay, we're gonna pursue this thing a little bit further. And listen what it says in verse 9. And here is the mind which has wisdom. Now he finna give you some wisdom about where this whore is sitting, where she is residing. She gave you the colors of the whore, gave you some of the names of the whore, told you if you followed after this whore, you ain't gonna be written in the book of life. Now it's finna tell you where this whore resides. It said, and here is the mind that has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is. The other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was, and is not, even the 8th, and is of the 7, and he goeth into perdition. The son of perdition, the man of sin, the abomination of desolation. Just told you what he said. Now let's read verse 10. Listen what he said. And the 10 horn which thou saw, there it is, are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These having one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. They signed that treaty in Rome. They came under that one rulership. And then they shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called chosen and faithful. That's where I want to be at. I want to be with the Lord. When he come back and snap necks and cash checks, baby, I want to be with him. And he said they tried to make war with the king of kings and the Lord of lords. And he came back. And the ones that with him are called chosen and few. Faithful. So we just continue to run this joker down, man. He's some straight garbage. We're going to keep on running him down. Let's go back. Let's go back to Revelation 13. Let's flip back a few chapters. We're going to Revelation 13. We're just going to keep running this joker down, man. And Revelation 13, we're going to read verses 1 through 2. Then we're going to skip down. Then I got some few pictures I want to share with y'all after this. Revelation 13 and verse 1, and I read. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horn 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was likened unto a leopard, and his feet, were the feet of a bear, and his mouth is the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Now here we have all 4 of the Gentile dynasties being made into one. And the last thing it said, and the dragon, who was the dragon? Satan, gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So whoever this beast was, he's operating under the power of Satan. Okay, so we've been running this man of sin, this son of perdition. He said he gonna exalt himself as God, and gonna exalt himself above all that is called God, and gonna magnify himself as a God, and gonna speak things against the Most High, and he gonna wear out the saints. And he said, he's telling you in chapter 13, he operating under the power of Satan. Operating under the Satan power. Satan gonna give him his power and his great authority in this earth. Okay, let's skip down to verse 5 for the sake of time. And listen what it says. It is verifying what we've already read. And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. How long is 42 months? 3.5 years. We read it 2 or 3 times already. 3.5 years. Times and dividing the time. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints. There you go again. He beating up on these saints now. And to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues, and he gonna be ruling this whole earth. And on his way to rule the earth, he's still messing with these saints. So I don't know where y'all think y'all being raptured out to, because the Bible don't talk about that. Y'all think y'all gonna get raptured out before this great tribulation start? We ain't read that yet. Now I know they're gonna go over 2 Thessalonians, but that ain't even got that. That's Jesus coming when he make his descent. He gonna wake up the righteous dead, and the ones that remain gonna be changed. And we gonna, in the Bible says, we gonna meet him in the air. Meet him in the air. So he coming down, and we going up. We gonna meet in the air, and we coming straight back down here to wreck shop. We coming in, and we done showed you in previous lessons that we ain't coming here to be doing no talking. We gonna read some of it in the lesson, but we know Jesus said the blood gonna come up to the horse's bridle. Because you gonna make war with his saints, he gonna make war with you. You gonna kill his saints, he gonna kill you. Then check this, he gonna wake you up and kill you forever. Now, keep on moving. We gonna come back to 13. We're gonna come back to 13, but we're gonna skip down in 13. We're gonna skip. I tell you, we're gonna keep on reading. Let's keep reading. We're gonna pick it back up at verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear to hear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saint. We coming, I told you. I can't wait to swing my blade. Because I see a whole lot of stuff going wrong on this earth. And when the Messiah come back, I'm going to be right there with him. I'm going to be snapping necks. I'm going to be carrying checks, baby. And if you get in my way, I might hit you across the back of your leg. I might swing around, cut one of your ears off, and then chop you right down the middle of your face. He said, he that killeth with a sword, going to be killed with a sword. He that put it in captivity, going to be put in captivity when the Lord come back. Verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth that had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Now them two sorry jokers here, the beast and the false prophet. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was he. And he does great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven. Remember, he said he's going to do all signs and lying wonders. He maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And deceiveth, remember Jesus and Paul told you, be not deceived. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth. See, this thing still happening on the earth. By means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword, and did live. And he gave power to give life unto the image. So he gonna make a statue walk and talk. He gave power. He gave power to give life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship him, worship the image of the beast, should be killed. See, now, there it is again. If you ain't going to fall down and worship this beast or the image of the beast, he said he going to kill you. He going to kill you. That means mama, daddy, sister, brother, big mama. If you ain't going to worship this beast, you going to get killed. Now, I ask you again, do you really believe in the God of this Bible? Okay? Verse 16. And he calleth, listen to this, and he calleth all, both small and great, rich and poor. So it ain't gonna make no difference. You got money if you ain't got no money. It ain't gonna make you big, you little. He said, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand and or in their forehead. And they set you up every Ash Wednesday. They put the mark in your forehead, mark in your right hand. They setting you up. Y'all want to think it's all holy and pious and all that. You walk around with dirt on your forehead, dirt in your hand. And he said, if you don't want to take that mark, he going to deal with you. He going to deal with you. Okay? And verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, we finna give you some more wisdom now. Finna give you some more wisdom. He said you ain't gonna be able to buy or sell unless you got the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So we finna give you some wisdom. Now listen what verse 18 says. It said, here is wisdom. Every time the Bible say here is wisdom, you need to perk your ears up because he's finna give you a clue. Serious clue, hard, heavy hitter. Okay? He said, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, threescore, and 6. That's that number where everybody on that 666. That's the number of the beast. That's the number they're going to put in your hand or your forehead or the mark or the name of the beast. They're going to give you this number. Now let's run this number down. Okay? Because I've been waiting for this all night. Now, everybody remember last year this joker just got voted in office. This Pope just got voted in office. Well, I don't know what his name. Pope Francis. But that sounds like a woman name right there. No wonder he don't like no women. Pope Francis. And I don't know, you can go Google this on the internet. You know what I'm saying? It don't take a whole lot. You can just put in Life magazine, because I remember me and my wife, when this joker first got voted in office last year, me and my wife was at Walmart, and I was just going into the line to pay for my stuff, and I looked, and I had to look again. I said, ain't this some garbage? This joker had on the front of Time Life magazine, Vicar of Christ. Now, what are you talking about, T? What does all this got to do with the last verse you just read? Well, the office of the Pope for years, they call themselves the Vicar of Christ. And for those you don't know what that means the substitute for God's Son. Straight garbage. God don't need no substitute. Jesus Christ definitely don't need no substitute. But they call themselves the Vicar of Christ. And you can pull this up. Time Life magazine. I ain't lying. I just got this picture right here I can show y'all. And you see right there, it says Vicar. It says Vicar of Christ. Okay. So there's the proof. And it's probably on more than one website. But anyway, I ain't even gonna get into the hat and the cross and all that. We'll deal with that when we deal with the Catholicism. But I just want to deal with this Vicar of Christ. So I got this page right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let y'all see it. I'm gonna hold up there for a minute. And the literal meaning of this Vicar of Christ, if you go, the original or the ancient language of Rome is Latin. Okay, for those you don't know. And in Latin, Vicar of Christ is vicarious filii Dei, or substitute son God. So he's saying he's a substitute for God's Son. And if you go into the very Roman numerals, for those you know, like I said, it's coming out of the Roman government. For those you know your Roman numerals, there it is right there. You got the V stand for 5. The I is 1. The C is equal to 100. The A has no value. The R has no value. The I again is 1. The U is 5. And the S has no value. That's vicarious. Then you go to Philly. And it's spelled F-I-L-I-I. And you go over to that word Philly in the Latin. The Roman numeral is no value. F has no value. I again is 1. L is 50. The I is 1. Then the other I is another 1. Then you go to Di, or D, however you want to pronounce it. D-E-I. The Roman value for D is 500. The E has no value, and the I is equal to 1 again. So when you put all that together and you add all that up, that comes to 666. That's that chump right there. The one who everybody thinks is holy now and blah blah blah. He the holy see and all that. He's some straight garbage. He's Satan's boy. He's Satan's boy. And I ain't saying he is the one. This guy that's in there now, but because we know, if you got some understanding, you know that the temple got to be rebuilt in Jerusalem, and they gonna rebuild the temple, just not the whole temple. Those who got some understanding and knowledge know that the temple got to be built. And that's why Jesus said, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation stand in the holy place. He said, then if you in Judea, flee into the mountains. So we know the temple got to be built. We know, and they talking about building it now. You can do the research. You can go on the internet and look up third temple. And they trying to get it together right now. They trying to get the holy vessels and all that. They trying to get the daily sacrifice and all that stuff put back together. And what's going to happen is, this cat is going to be invited down there, and he's been invited several times, but he's going to be invited down there to bring peace among the Ishmaelites and those fake Jews over there. That's a combination of Edomites and Khazars. He going to be called down there to bring peace, and when he get down there, he going to want to stay. That's why Jesus said, when you therefore shall see the abomination, desolation stand in the holy place, Paul said, when you see him in the temple of God, called himself God and claimed to be exalted above all that is called God, he going over there. So vicarious feeling deep, standing in the temple of God, exalting himself above God and above all that is called God. So we just put our hands on the abomination of desolation, the man of sin, the son of perdition, and more commonly known, people know as the Antichrist. So we're gonna keep on rolling. We're gonna keep on rolling. Now we're finna do some quick scripts right here on the tribulation. And you know, we've already said, we've seen time and time again that it's gonna be 3.5 years. We've seen time and time again that he's gonna be making war with the saints. So we're gonna keep on reading. So we're gonna flip back. We still in Revelation. We're gonna flip back to Revelation the 6th. We're going to flip back to Revelation chapter 6. Revelation chapter 6. And we're going to read verses 1 through 11. And then we're going to skip down a little bit and read one more verse after that. So, this right here is when the seals begin to be open. Which is part of the tribulation. Which is part of what's going to be happening under the rulership of this abomination of desolation. This man who everybody thinks is so holy and so pious and so good. These are some of the things that are going to be happening under his rulership. So let's read. And I'm starting at verse 1, chapter 6 of Revelation. And I read. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, come and see. And I saw, and I beheld a white horse, and he that sat upon him had a bow and a crown, and was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him, that he sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat upon him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard the voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see that thou dost not hurt the oil and the wine. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard a voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name was set upon him with death, and hell followed with him. And with him and hell followed with him, and power was given unto him, was given unto the over to the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth. Now these are what the more commonly known as the four horsemen. You know, this first horse, that's that sorry joker sitting on the horse with a little crown. You know, he got one crown. He gonna make his announcement. You know that he king over earth. You know what I'm saying? That's this abomination of desolation, sitting with that single crown on his head. You know what I'm saying? Then he came down with another horse. You know what I'm saying? And he took peace from the earth. You know, he gonna come in peace, but then he gonna take peace from the earth and gonna start killing up folk. Then the third horse this came with these pair of balances in his hand. That's when he gonna make you take that mark and say, you know, the scale gonna be so out of whack that you can buy a penny if you can buy a wheat for a penny. So he gonna hit you. He gonna come in peace. Then he gonna take peace from the earth. Then he gonna hit you where it always hurt the most, in your pocketbook. And if you ain't got that mark, you ain't gonna be able to buy or save. See what I'm saying? Then that 4B, he bringing death and hell. It's gonna be showing up some great tribulation then. Gonna be a lot of killing, and every thought of man gonna be evil. Even Jesus told you in Matthew 24, like we read earlier, he said, "And iniquity shall abound, cause the love of many gonna wax cold." So the Bible supports itself. Don't need no self-interpretation. So we just reading what's gonna happen in this thing. See what I'm saying? Now, verse 9, and it said, "And he had opened the fifth seal, and saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held." There you go again. They killing up these saints now. They killing up these saints. Verse 10. "And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?" So these things still on the earth. "And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest for a little season until their fellow servants, also their brethren that should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled." So it's still gonna be some folks getting killed up by this cat, man. We keep reading about these saints getting killed. So you better believe, you better be real with what you believe. Because if you don't know where that place of safety is, you're going to get tested. I keep telling you. This cat is not going to be playing with you. Okay? All right, we're going to skip down. We're going to skip down to verse 17. We're going to read one verse. And it say, and I read, "For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?" Who going to be able to stand in this day? Who going to be able to stand in this day? If you ain't real, you ain't going to be able to stand. If you ain't firmly rooted and grounded in the word of God, and you don't get to that place of safety, you going to be in trouble, partner. You and everybody you love. So you better know what you believe and be ready to give your life, and you be ready to see your loved one killed right in front of your face. Because I'm going to tell you like this, if you take that mark, you going to wish you would have done it. Because once you take that mark, ain't no coming back. You through. You finished. So you better enjoy all that you can enjoy. Because when Jesus come back, that you going to be thrown in the lake with the snake. Okay? All right, we're moving on. Let's go to 2 Timothy. We're going to try to wrap this thing up. I know y'all, I know a lot of this is strange to y'all. This abomination of desolation. I know some of y'all ain't never heard of the abomination of desolation, the man of sin. But we just showing you who this cat is and what he going to be about. And we showed you ain't going to be no rapture, because this joke going to be killing up the saints. So all you folks that waiting for this 7-year tribulation and this rapture, we just showed y'all that ain't going to happen. Okay? Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3. We're going to read some quick little one here to quit. Chapter 3 and verse 13. 2 Timothy 3 and chapter I tell you what, we're gonna read Second Timothy. I'm sorry, 2 Timothy chapter 3. We're gonna read verses 12 and 13. Yea, all that will live godly in Christ shall suffer persecution. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Remember what Jesus said the first thing? He said, let no man deceive you. Paul told you in Thessalonians, be not deceived. See, these seducers of men gonna be deceiving y'all. The ones that ain't got no information, ain't got no knowledge, no correction, you gonna get deceived. And you will end up in the lake of fire. Because you gonna end up with that mark on your head. Or in your in your right hand or your forehead. You gonna be deceived. Because you gonna think that the Most High can't take care of you. Or you gonna think, well, I gotta feed my family. I gotta take this mark so I can feed my family. That mark ain't gonna be working when you get in that lake of fire. See, that's what people don't realize. So that's why you need to be finding out who Israel is. That's why you need to know who the true Israelites are. So they can give you some wisdom and some information and some knowledge so you can get yourself to the place of safety during this tribulation. That's another lesson though. All right, we still in 2 Timothy. We going to 2 Timothy the 4. 2 Timothy the 4. Just skip down a little bit. We're going to read verses 3 through 4. And I read, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. And that's what they doing now. Christmas, fairy tale. Easter, fairy tale. St. Patrick's Day, fairy tale. St. Valentine's Day, fairy tale. They done turned from the truth. They done turned away from the truth, but they want to believe that some Easter bunny and some eggs got something to do with Jesus Christ's death, burial, and resurrection. They want to believe that some fat, perverted, pink-booted white boy gonna slide his fat butt down a chimney. They got something to do with Christ's birth. See, you done turn to fairy tales and fables, man. Straight garbage. Book of Jeremiah chapter 10 tell you to learn not the way of the heathen. Don't drag no tree in your house and deck it with silver and gold. Then turn to fairy tales and fables. Right here in the book. They want to tell you some little green leprechaun walking around pinching people on the booty and on the arms. You ain't got no green on to have good luck. Some little naked little white boy wearing a diaper shooting folk with arrows and got you spending your money. Making merchandise of it. Just straight garbage. But it all came from Rome. It all came from Rome. Do your research. Do your research. We're going back to Revelation. We're going back to the book of Revelation. We're going back to the book of Revelation. We're going to chapter 11. Revelation the 11. And we're going to pick it up. We're going to pick it up at we're going to read verses 1 through 3. Then we're going to skip down. So Revelation the 11. And we're going to read verses 1 through 3. And I read. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentile. Who are the Gentile? The people we call European and white folk. And the holy city. And they said, tread it underfoot 42 months. Remember I said this joker from the Roman Empire, which is a Gentile, given to he said they're gonna build a temple, but leave the court without, for it is given unto the Gentile to tread down 42 months. Again, 3.5 years. How many times we got to read 3.5 years for y'all get the picture? Ain't no 7-year tribulation. And verse 3. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days clothed in sackcloth. There it is again. 42 months, 3.5 years. Well, he ain't broken down the days for you. All right, just keep it, just proving out all this, man. Just proving out all this. Let's go to Revelation 19. Let's go to Revelation 19. Revelation, and I hope some of y'all say, man, he scared me. Good. I hope you is scared. Maybe you'll get right. Try to seek out some wisdom, some learning, so you can keep yourself out of the lake of fire. I hope y'all getting scared. Revelation 19, and we're gonna pick it up. We're gonna pick it up at verse 11. We're gonna read one verse here, then we're gonna skip down. All right, verse 11, and I read. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon the horse was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. There you go, right there, baby. That's what I'm talking about, right there. He said he doth judge and make war. But y'all got Jesus coming back, loving and hugging everybody. This is talking about the coming of Jesus, and it said he doth judge and make war. So I don't know if y'all got that old loving, cuddly Jesus, and you can do what you want to do, and blah, 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 blah. That's some straight garbage. He said he coming back, and he does judge and make war. All right, skip down. Skip down. Okay, skip down where I'm at. Revelation 19. Revelation 19. I lost my spot. Revelation 19, and we're going to skip down to verse 19 and read verse 19 and 20. And I read, and I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. I told you Jesus come with army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, which deceived them that received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. They both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Verse 21, read verse 21. And the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, and the sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fire were filled with their flesh. So yeah, they're gonna try to come out, you know what I'm saying, and make war against the master, and he gonna take care of business, him and his army. But let's check this out. He said the beast and the false prophet was cast in the lake of fire alive. Okay? Keep that in mind. Was cast in the lake of fire alive. And let's read verse 4. And I saw thrones, not throne, plural, thrones. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received the mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Verse 6. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. There it is right there. There it is right there. The ones that don't bow, the ones that's going to be persecuted and beheaded for the witness of Christ, the ones that don't take that mark, the ones that don't worship that image, they're going to reign and rule with Christ Jesus in the first resurrection. That's why he said some going to be raised to everlasting life, and some to everlasting shame and contempt. Those going to be in the shame and contempt going to be in the second resurrection. They won't even get raised in the first resurrection. They still going to be sleeping in the dust. Okay? All right, we moving on. We're going to prove out all things. We're going to, the Bible says Jesus, surely God will do nothing unless he reveal his secrets unto his prophets. So we're going to the book of Jeremiah. We're going to the book of Jeremiah. We're going to pick it up in chapter 30. Jeremiah 30. We're going to read Jeremiah 30. And we're going to pick it up. We're going to pick it up at verses 5. We're going to read verses 5 through 7. And I read, For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman travail, and all the faces turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. He said, man, them days, jokers gonna be crying like men, grown men gonna be crying like women, with their hands on their knees, and they know, oh, what's going on? And he said he called this a time of Jacob's trouble. That great day, what that same day, that great tribulation that we've been talking about. He said it's gonna be men crying like women. But he said Jacob gonna be saved out of it. Who was Jacob? Israel. And if you Israel and you got some knowledge, you both physical and spiritual Israel, you got some knowledge of the Most High and what's going to be going on, you're going to be saved out of this trouble. So like I said, you need to know who true Israelites are, because it ain't them imposters over there in the land now. Because the Bible says the saints ain't going to be gathered until Jesus come back. Is Jesus sitting on the throne of David now? No. So who are those people over there? Go back and look at our lesson on the true Hebrew Israelite 4-part series. Ain't nothing happening. All right, let's keep it going. Let's go to Psalm 149. Let's go to Psalm 149. Let's go to Psalm 149. We prove at all things. He said, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses is a matter established. We didn't give you more than 2 or 3, but I like this nail the coffin shut, baby. Let's go to Psalm 149, and we're going to read verses 5 through 9. Psalm 149. Verses 5 through 9, and I read. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praise of God be in their mouth, and the two-edged sword in their hand. I told you, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all the saints. Praise ye the Lord. I told you, I can't wait. I can't wait. And like I told, me and my family talking about last week, I hope one of my jobs, when the Most High come back in Rick Shop, I hope one of my jobs go down and tear down all these churches, these pagan worship places. I hope that's my job, to tear down every false high place in the whole world. I hope that's part of my job. I hope it's part of my job to deal with these jackleg preachers. I hope that's one of my jobs he give me. Because you just read, he said, part of the saints' job is to go put the kings of the earth in chains and their nobles in fetters of iron, and to execute judgment, the judgment that is written. This honor have all the saints. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait till the Most High straighten this place up. I can't wait for him to give me my marching order, because I'm ready. I'm ready. I promise you I am. All right, we're going to go to Revelation 2. And we just got a quick little one here to quit us. Tell you what's going to happen after the tribulation comes and Jesus come back, with his army to come back and straighten this thing up, get it right. Revelation 2. Revelation 2. And we're going to read verses 26 and 27. Revelation chapter 2, verses 26 and 27. This in red letters, so you know who's talking. The master's talking. Jesus Christ. Yeshua HaMashiach. And I read, he that overcometh and keepeth my works to the end. Again, you ain't saying that. You got to keep his works to the end. You can live righteously all your whole life and take that mark or bow to the image. You going to get cut off. You got to keep his word to the end. And he that overcometh and keep my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them over the. See, we still talking about the nations. We ain't went off to heaven yet. We still talking about the nations. We still talking about this earth. We ain't went off to heaven yet. And you ain't gonna never read that, because God didn't promise you that. That's some garbage. And he shall rule over them with the rod of iron, as vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. See that right there? We reading the same thing over and over again, the new and the old. When Jesus come back and cast that punk in the lake of fire, we going to be ruling and reigning with him for 1,000 years before the Father kingdom come back. All right, we keep it moving. Just a one-hitter quitter. We're going to Isaiah. Let's go back to the Old Testament. The book of Isaiah. And we're going to Isaiah the 14. Isaiah the 14. That's all that's needed. Here a little, there a little. Line upon line, precept upon precept. He said, get wisdom and knowledge, but with all your getting, get understanding. He said, with all your getting, get understanding. And that's what we try to do, give you a little understanding. All right, we're going to talk about this day of rest a little bit. Talk about this day of rest a little bit. Check this out. Isaiah the 14, verses 1 through 2. And I read, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. See? No, they chose. We ain't over there yet. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for service and handmaid. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. Huh? Come on, what? Are you serious, dude? You mean the one that oppressed us, we gonna oppress them? You mean the one that held us captive, they gonna be our captive when Jesus come back? They gonna be our handmaids and our servants in the kingdom. That's what the book say. I'm just reading the book. It ain't my word. Like I say all the time, I ain't wrote damn word on these pages. I'm just reading straight book. Okay? Okay. Let's keep it moving. Revelation 15. Revelation, we're going back to Revelation. I told y'all keep it marking. I know we've been in and out of Revelation, but I get so hyped up on these lessons, man. I be forgetting little small little detail, but keep your marker in Revelation. No, we finna kill this lesson right here. We got 2 more scripts to go. Let's go to Revelation to 15. Let's go to Revelation to 15. And we're going to read one verse here. Revelation 15, we're going to read verse 2. And I read, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of God. See that? See, the ones that are going to overcome, going to be standing in the kingdom. The ones that don't take the mark, the ones that don't take the name, the ones that don't worship that beast, that image, we going to be standing in the presence of the Almighty, singing with harps and playing harps. So, again, y'all better find out who this cat is. All right. We finna put the one here to quit on him. We finna shut this thing down, baby. Revelation the 20. Revelation chapter 20. All right. We read earlier that the beast was giving his power back from Satan. So, God gonna have to deal with it. He gonna clean it up. Jesus gonna clean this thing up. So let's go to Revelation chapter 20. Okay. Revelation chapter 20. And we're gonna pick it up at verses 10. You can go back and read the whole Revelation 20 on your own. We getting close to our time. So I'm gonna break it down. We're gonna read verses 10 through 15. We're going to read verses 10 through 15, and I read. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away. And there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, and stand before God. And the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. and the sea gave up the dead which went in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Look, this God is so dangerous that y'all take so light. He gonna kill death and hell. He not only put the false prophet and the beast in the lake of fire. He not only put Satan, the devil, in the lake of fire, but it ain't gonna be no more need for death and the grave. He gonna throw death and the grave in the lake of fire, because everybody gonna live forever, either in the kingdom or in the lake of fire. So you can't die and get away from this God. He gonna put everybody according to their works in the lake with the snake. Now, you take this. He said the ones that don't take the mark, the ones that's gonna endure sound doctrine, the ones that don't go after these fables and these fairy tales, the ones that's gonna keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Jesus Christ, them gonna be the ones that's gonna stand in the kingdom. Them gonna be the ones that's gonna be helping him rule and reign and judge the kings and the people of this earth. These are the ones who are the saints of the Most High. Not the ones that tell you can eat anything you want, just pray over. Not the ones that go to Ash Wednesday. Not the ones who believe in Good Friday. Not the ones who believe in Easter sunrise service. Not the ones who believe in Christmas. The ones that do the words and laws of this book. These are the saints of the Most High. And you that following after these pagan traditions, you that sleepwalking through this life, you that will bow your knee to the abomination of desolation every Sunday, you that's bowing your knee to the abomination of desolation in the tribulation that's going to take that mark because you got to feed your babies, that you got to do what you got to do, you going to be in a lake of fire. So you keep playing with this word. You keep playing with this life. You keep believing what path of faith. You keep believing that punk sitting on that throne over there in the Vatican is all good and all for you. Keep believing it. When we just search this joke out through the scriptures. We just search this joke out through history. We just search what the book say gonna happen to all those that bound their knee, that sucking at the paps of this joke. We just read it in this book. And you gonna let somebody tell you that the law ain't no good no more. You gonna let somebody tell you that punk sitting over there is all for you. That he's a holy man, that he's all good. Well, you keep believing that. You keep believing that, and we're going to see where you end up at. You don't got to believe me. Get in this book and read it for yourself. Get in this book and read it for yourself. You got scripts. You got pen and paper. Write these scriptures down as we go through these books and going through these lessons. Go back and read it for yourself. Don't run back to pastor. Read it for yourself. Pray for understanding. Because pastor on the payroll. Pastor got that 5031C or whatever they want to call it. He gonna teach about certain things. He tax deductible on everything. He want to keep his tax deducted status, his tax exempt status. So pastor ain't gonna tell you the truth. You better get in this book and read it for yourself. Deadly serious. Deadly serious. And I know all this stuff we've been kicking y'all over the last couple of months. Been tore your playhouse down because you've been lied to all this time. And it's hard for you to believe that the whole world been deceived. But he said he's going to deceive many. So get it right. Get it tight. Listen here. We coming at you hard, live, and direct over the next 4 weeks, baby. See, I might well lace him up tight because we coming. The young lion will be back next week with his lesson. And can't remember what he's going to do. I think he's going to do either Jesus, the unknown God, or he may do the 2 mountains of Brad with some prophecy about the last big battle. But anyway, like I told you, don't miss these next 4 or 5 weeks because we come with some heavy hitters, man. Look, this your boy T Boogie. To my brothers and sisters in the faith, I salute you. To the natural Hebrew Israelites and those who know their spiritual Israel, I salute you. All praise, honor, and glory due to the Most High, for He and He alone is worthy to be praised. This your boy. I'ma holler at you.